Thank you. A motion to approve Resolution 129.
So moved.
Thank you. It's been moved by Mr. Kanuha and second by Mr. Onishi. Council members, there is a clerical error that needs correcting in the title on the resolution itself. And so at this time, I'd like to entertain a motion to add the number 7 and a dash to the first TMK in the title to make that correction.
So moved.
Thank you. Moved by Mr. Kanua, second by Mr. Onishi. Any discussion on the... Yes, it is.
Excuse me, the second line where it says 3-063, it should be a 7.
Correct.
So it's a typo.
Okay, yes, thank you. Okay, then Madam Clerk, the vote.
Ms. Ford? Aye. Mr. Ilagan?
Aye.
Mr. Kanuha?
Aye.
Mr. Onishi? Ms. Poindexter?
Aye.
Ms. Willie? Aye. Mr. Yoshimoto? Aye. Chair Eoff?
Aye.
Chair Eoff, you have 8 ayes and 1 absent.
Thank you. We'll make that correction. And I see several people here in the council chambers, just so that everybody knows. If you do have any questions, we'll be able to bring some people forward. Mr. Joe Root from Kohanaiki Shores, LLC. We have from Corp Council, we have Mr. Lincoln Ishida, Kathy Garson, and Renee Schoen. I believe in Hilo, we have the Director of Parks and Rec, Leighton Honma, and also we have Darren Arai from the Planning Department. I also see that Mr. Chris Yuen stayed, and he was the former Planning Director at the time this was negotiated. If you have any questions, he's also willing to come forward. So thank you. Now I'll open it up to discussion. Mr. Kanuha.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. Joe Root, did you want to come up? I know you provided all of us council members with communication 308.2, pictures of the park, and maybe you wanted to give a little presentation, explain a little bit more about this communication?
Yes, thank you.
Does everyone have it? He's going to show it's just 6 slides.
We're going to, yeah.
Did you want to state your name and your affiliation with Kohanaiki?
Hi, I'm Joe Root with Kohanaiki Shores, LLC. And first of all, I want to say aloha and thank you for all of your time and consideration today.
Excuse me. Joe, can you move the mic a little bit up towards
Yep.
Thank you.
And I think that a lot of the testimony that we heard speaks to the collaboration that occurred over the course of a long period of time between the development and the community and the county. And I'm pleased to be able to say we've gotten to this point where we have the park completed and ready to be dedicated and accepted by the county, and we feel it's going to continue to be a special place for generations to come. So I brought a few pictures. I'm going to make this presentation short just because in the interest of time. I know we've heard a lot of testimony already, so excuse me. Okay, so what we're looking at right here is the entry parking area. So as you turn toward the coast, after coming up the access road from the highway, this is the first parking area that you see. Then this is a typical section of the coastal road. You can see it has landscape swales. It's pretty dark, isn't it? I guess you can't see much. Maybe I can lighten it. Well, it looks better on the screen if it's of any consequence.
I think our photo looks pretty good.
On our paper.
Okay. At any rate, and you can see it has a sand shoulder on the Mackay side and a grass shoulder on the Malka side, and landscaping is in and growing in, and it'll mature and look lush and look like a country road that's been there for a long time shortly. So we feel like it's coming along well. This is the restroom and shower facility, and that's been complete and in use and been very well received. And people, I've heard stories of campers that forgot that they didn't need to bring their water bottles and their portable showers anymore. So it's kind of nice that they're taking advantage of it and have these facilities to use, and they're taking very good care of them as well. Just for information. This was actually the scaffolding for the start of the halau, which was recently completed, and I have to acknowledge, amongst everybody that's already been acknowledged, the team that put together the halau, Walter Wong and his crew that did a phenomenal job in really creating something very special there that'll be there for generations to come too. And it's I know a lot of people have put a lot of time and effort into the creation of the area, and then to see this come together was very rewarding. This is the completed halau. I think I'm told it's the largest halau of its type on the island, and I think it's pretty impressive, and hopefully you'll all be able to go visit and see it and see it in use, and people enjoying that as part of a cultural resource and a place for education and crafts and canoe activities and other related cultural activities. So we feel that, as some have talked about earlier, that it's a very powerful and special place, and I think it'll be a good thing to bring the community together. So. And this is just a little overview of the park itself, and basically from the entry parking area on the left all the way through to the halau site on the right, and various parking areas and restrooms and shower facilities. So that's what we have there. I think just a couple of other quick comments. I would like to give acknowledgement to the Park Advisory Committee that has worked together for, we've been meeting over the course of the last 6 years, and Karen and Rebecca and Nita and Wally Lau and Bob Fitzgerald and now Dwayne and James from Hilo, and just I think people coming and going through the committee, but also all participating in the end result that you see here, and want to acknowledge all their efforts. And then also the efforts of the county, the planning department, the DPW, the mayor's office, the mayor, and it could not have happened without the collaboration of all three groups. So very much appreciate that, and very pleased to be offering this up for dedication. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Cornell, you still have the floor.
I just want to say thank you, and I appreciate everything you've done, especially with the collaboration of all these different entities with the county, the community, and the developer. I mean, this is so essential, so good for our community. I just want to smile, because this is a place where we can all go down and enjoy our beach, enjoy the public access that we have to an amazing place. I did grow up in this area, not in this area, but I did go down when I was small, and to be able to, now I can bring my kupuna down there, and they can have a place where they can use a bathroom, a place where we can all gather together and enjoy such a great place for Kona. And I really appreciate you and Kohanaiki Shores for being that collaborator, being cooperative with everybody, because it really helped with the community's eyes, with my eyes, with my ohana, with our constituents who go down there. So I really appreciate that. I know this is, like was said earlier to somebody else who testified earlier, this was a template to all developers now and in the future. So this is something that we can look forward to when we deal with certain developments along this coastline in the Kona Wahona area. And there's not enough thanks to give to the people of the past. I know everybody has already said, to the last administration, to everybody has been working in collaboration with Mr. Angel Pilago, and there's too many people to thank, and I don't want to forget anyone, but I just want to, I'm for this dedication. I hope that all of us on this council support this dedication, because this is a great thing for our community to have, and I just want to say thank you. And I might have questions later on, but I just wanted to say that. So thank you for all your work that you do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion or questions? Ms. Willie?
I want to comment on the issue about the extension, that possible extension, and I just think it's important that we preserve goodwill, and that when we negotiate with a developer for certain conditions, that they know that that's what we're going to stand by as a county. And I know I would like to have lots of access and all that, but and maybe there'll be a day in the future when we can negotiate that along with something else or something. But I think that it's important for the community to understand that goodwill is something that's an essential part of every negotiation, and standing by one's word is really important. And it's not to negate what other opportunities we'd have. And so I just want to appreciate, I know there's been some criticism here and there, and that I support how we handled it, and there's always tomorrow. So thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Ford?
Thank you. Well, I think two people actually made the most profound comments about the acquisition of this park for the county. And the first one was by Mayor Kim that you've already alluded to, and that is we should consider this type of development along our shorelines for every single development that comes in the future. This should be the template, the model that we use. So I absolutely support Mayor Kim's position on that. And then, there has been a lot of controversy over this. And was the settlement perfect? No, but there are no compromises that are perfect. A compromise is where we all have to grit our teeth and say, okay, at least we got this much for our side, and maybe that's the best we can do. And we know that controversy has gone on for 26 years. It's been very, very difficult for the community. But I think that if we, in the future, especially for Kona, and certainly for the other areas that have community development plans, if those plans incorporate things like shoreline parks, that we need to adhere to them. We need to follow our CDPs. And in this particular case, it's time for the war to be over. It really is. We need the time now to heal. The second person that I want to comment on, and I don't remember her name, but she said this is a very bittersweet compromise because neither side got everything they wanted. But that's the nature of a compromise. It just, you just have to grit your teeth and move on. I will be supporting this acquisition. I think it's a wonderful acquisition. I remember when Kelly Greenwell was on the council, he wanted that whole shoreline from Kauai High all the way down to the park to be part of a shoreline park. And this is maybe the first step, or maybe the second step, to get that going. It's not exactly the way we would have wanted it, but it's certainly better than losing it. And so thank you very much, sir, for the work you and your organization have put into this. And thank you to everybody here in the county, the residents and the various sections of the government who also worked on this, and Mr. Pilago especially, and Ms. Eoff and Ms. David, for all the work that they did for 26 years. My stuff, I only went 12 or 13 years on mine, so you guys are more, you persevered maybe more than I might have been able to, but you did a good job. We've all done a good job, and so I'm going to be supporting this. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there additional comments or questions? No? Okay. Then I'd like to make a comment First of all, I really wanted to thank everybody that came here today, that shared the history and the work that went into this park, and we were very honored to have the presence of all of them and all of you. Yeah, this would not have happened, had it not been for the collaborative efforts of our community leaders and our elected officials, the lineal and cultural descendants of the area, the environmentalists, the cultural experts, the local residents, businesses, attorneys, and advisors, and especially those Keiki surfers who continue to make us realize the importance of special places like this. If I could just take one more minute or two, I wanted to read a statement from I found a Kohanaiki. Richard and Isabel had that whole stack of history, but I had some of that saved up too. So I found a newsletter that was from about 1993. That'd be like almost exactly 20 years ago in June. And I just wanted to read this excerpt. We envision a coastline with low-level, low-impact projects that have a direct benefit to the community. We see an environment where people learn the value of fish ponds, aquaculture, hydroponics, medicinal plants, self-reliance, and sustainability, and where traditional uses of the land are tied to the present and the future. We envision a coastline where our community can continue to gather in an area open for fishing, surfing, camping, and other recreational and cultural activities, educational programs that combine environmental and cultural awareness, marine science, and Hawaiian studies that will connect the coastline to the planned university. And when we look to the sea, we see a fleet of Hawaiian canoes traversing the coastline, linking the past to the present through hands-on interaction with the community. This park is the result of our community's efforts and demonstrates the power in a shared vision. And again, I just want to say thank you to everybody, and this is a very important day for many of us. And with that, I'll ask Madam Clerk to call for the vote.
Mrs. Ford? Aye. Mr. Lagan?
Aye.
Mr. Kanuha?
Aye.
Mr. Onishi? Aye. Ms. Poindexter?
Aye.
Ms. Willie?
Aye.
Mr. Yoshimoto?
Aye.
Chair Eoff?
Aye.
Chair Eoff, you have 8 ayes and 1 absent.
Thank you. Resolution 129 is adopted. And thank you, everybody. Okay, can we take Resolution 130?
Resolution
Oh, I'm sorry, wait. Resolution 129 is adopted as amended. With that correction, thank you.
Resolution 130-13 accepts a grant of non-exclusive utility easement over a portion of tax map key 7-3-65:14 and 15, Hawaii and State of Hawaii from Kohanaiki Shores LLC. Kohanaiki Shores LLC is dedicating certain public park facilities and is desirous of granting the county a perpetual non-exclusive easement to access, maintain, and repair water lines in the above referenced lots. Introduced by Ms. Eoff, waive PWPRC and Communication 309.1 from Assistant Corporation Counsel Catherine A. Garson, dated June 10, 2013, transmitting County Department approval letters supporting Resolution 130-13.
Thank you. Could I have a motion to approve Resolution 130-13?
So moved. Second.
Thank you. Moved by Mr. Kanuha, second by Mr. Onishi. Is there any discussion? Nope, seeing none. Madam Clerk?
Ms. Ford? Aye. Mr. Lagan?
Aye.
Mr. Kanuha?
Aye.
Mr. Onishi? Ms. Poindexter?
Aye.
Ms. Willie? Aye. Mr. Yoshimoto? Mr. Yoshimoto? Oh, thank you. Chair Eoff?
Aye.
Chair Eoff, you have 8 ayes and 1 absent.
Thank you. Resolution 130 is adopted. Okay, if there are no other requests, I'm going to start with the top of the agenda.